What's up, everybody? That's Antonio here, bringing another episode in the series of how many shares of a certain company do you need to own to make $100 a month, $1,000 a month, and even $100 a week. So these videos are definitely fun to record because we pull up the calculator, but this is actually the current list I do have that you guys provided. So every week we're going over one company. So in this episode we will be going over Kraft Heinz. So we'll pull it up on Seeking Alpha, look at the charts for the performance, then we'll pull up the company profile, read a little bit about them, and then go to the dividend summary and pull up the calculator, crunch those numbers for see how much we would have to own, and then wrap it up with the dividend yield, showing us when the best opportunity is or currently was in the past for the dividend yield. So let's go ahead and get started. So Kraft Heinz, guys, I'm gonna pull up Seeking Alpha. So ticker symbol KHC, the Kraft Heinz Company, currently trading about $35.76. If I actually pull up the company profile, we can read a little bit about them. So the Kraft Heinz Company, together with its subsidiaries, manufactures and markets food and beverage products in the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, and internationally. Its products include condiments and sauces, cheese and dairy products, meals, meal meats, and then refreshment beverages, coffee, and other grocery products. The company also offers spices and other seasonings. It sells its products through its own sales organization as well as through independent brokers, agents, distributors to chain, wholesales, cooperative, and independent grocery accounts, convenience, value, and club stores, pharmacies and drug stores, mass merchants, which you guys probably seen them mostly for the ketchup, Kraft Heinz ketchup there. Sectors here is consumer staples. Industry is packaged foods and meats. Employees is showing us 37,000, and they were founded in 1869, quite a long time ago, guys. Website you can read about, or I guess you can look at the products for them at kraftheinzcompany.com. So if we pull up the charts here, guys, you can see that on the year to date we're actually down 12.31% in appreciation here. On the 1 year, Kraft Heinz is at 7.84% down. On the 5 year, they are actually down 43.81%. Horrible return for a 5-year hold of this company. On the 10 year, they are down 38.22% as well. Very bad performance there. And then since they've been publicly traded, I believe, or I guess, yeah, since 2012 is what it's showing, they are down 22.25%. So pretty bad return on the capital appreciation there. Not my type of company. I would prefer to be up in capital appreciation plus dividend growth. But if we look at the 52-week range, you'll see that on the 52-week low, they are, I guess 52-week low was $32.73, and then 52-week high is $42.80. So it's closer to the 52-week low. EPS is 2.89. On the PE, it's a 12.32. And then on the dividend rate, $1.60. Yield is a 4.49%. And then the market cap is a 43.73 billion market cap. So pretty large company here. If we actually pull up the dividend scorecard and we scroll to the very bottom, again, they are in the consumer staple sector. On the dividend yield, it is a 4.49% dividend yield. Annual payout is $1.60. So for each share you do own, you would get paid about $1.60 every single year. Payout is 55.94%, so a bit of room to grow the dividend. On the 5-year CAGR, they're actually a negative 8.54%, and I believe that is because they did cut their dividend, zero dividend growth, and then frequency is quarterly, so they do pay out 40 cents every single quarter. Let's go ahead and pull up the calculator, guys, and then we can crunch some numbers. So the first one we want to find out is how much of this company would you have to own to make $1,000 a month. So if we do want to make $1,000 a month, there's 12 months in a year. So annually we do need to make $12,000. You can actually take the annual payout. We'll take the 12,000 divided by the annual payout, which is $1.60. This would actually give you the total number of shares you need to own to make that $1,000 a month. So if we multiply that 7,200 times the $35.76, this would give you roughly about $268,200 that you'd have to have invested, and you'd be roughly making about $1,000 from Kraft Heinz every single month. They do pay out quarterly, so you'd get what, $3,000 every quarter. But yeah, that's how much you'd have to have invested. Quick way to calculate this, guys, is take the $12,000 that you need to make annually, divided by the dividend yield, which is 4%. Or I guess 4.49%, and you'll see we roughly get about 267,000, which is right around the same amount there. And then another one that we want to do is actually how much of this company would you have to be invested in to make $100 every single month. This one's a little bit more achievable because you do require a lot less capital. You could actually take the previous answer divided by 10 and that would give you the answer. But since we do have the calculator and I can show you guys all the math behind this, let's go ahead and crunch those numbers. So we want to make $100 every single month. Again, 12 months in a year. Annually, you do need to make 1,200 divided by the annual payout, which is that $1.60. This gives you the total number of shares, which is 750 shares. Then you actually multiply that times the current share price, which is $35.76. So annually you do need to make, I guess you need to have invested $26,820. Quick way to calculate this again, guys, is take the 1,200 you need to make annually divided by the dividend yield, which is a 4.49%. You'll see we get about maybe what, 24, or I guess I did the wrong percentage, but yeah, 449, and then you'll see we roughly get about $26,000 that you'd have to have invested. So that's a quick way to calculate that. Let's go ahead and do the last one, guys, which is $100 every single week. This one would be really cool. Imagine every single week you'd be making about $100 that you could spend. So the way you calculate this is we want to make $100 every week. There's 52 weeks in a year, so you multiply that. So annually we need to make 5,200. You can actually take this divided by the annual payout, which is $1.60. That means that you'd have to own about 3,250 shares, and you'd be roughly making about $100 every single week. Again, a lot of these companies, if they're growing their dividend, this one is not particularly growing their dividend, they actually cut it, but in general, if they're growing their dividend, raising their dividend every year, you actually require a lot less capital invested in these companies. So definitely great to see. But yeah, you have the 3,250 shares, multiply it times the current share price, guys, which is $35.76. And you'll see we get about $116,220 you'd have to have invested in this company. You'd be roughly making about $100 every single week. Quick way to calculate this again, take the 5,200 you need to make annually divided by the dividend yield, which is a 4.49%. And you see we roughly get about $115,000 there. And so yeah, guys, that is the calculations for this company. Quite a bit of money, and there's not growth here, especially with the capital appreciation. You'd actually be down. And yeah, but let's go ahead and wrap up this video by looking at the dividend yield. So this is the dividend yield, this is the 5 years. So as you'll see over time, it does fluctuate. Back in 2019 they were right around a 7% dividend starting yield, and 6, 7, almost 8%. And then in 2020 it did spike up, but slowly it's been coming down in the dividend yield. And again, I believe they did cut the dividend. Let me know in the comment section if that's incorrect, or correct me with the correct information, but I believe they did cut it. But anyways, this is actually all I have for you guys. Let me know in the comment section which other companies you guys want me to add to the list. I'll be happy to add it. We'll eventually get to it, and then just don't forget to subscribe, the notification, help me reach that 20,000 subscriber mark. Definitely would appreciate it as well. If you wouldn't mind dropping a big thumbs up, definitely goes a long way, costs you nothing, and definitely would appreciate it. I will talk to you guys later. Take care, stay safe out there. Bye guys.